artsy and not even nothing serious. You know, a little grappling, a little free roll footage, something. You know, just watch them wrestle a little bit, grapple. Maybe we can learn a few things. Well, no, you're too busy training Travis Scott. It's like, how did Travis Scott even become an option? Who brought him up? I'm gonna need a 50. Yeah, add an extra 20 on that 30. Because I'm sorry, there's just no way, bro. And crazy statement. Vince is a hell of a lot better than Triple H at is the booking of celebrities. Because y'all remember when Kevin Federline beat John Cena clean? Anyway, yeah, me neither. I remember Kevin having help out the ass and he finally beat John Cena. But straight up, fuck out of here. Vince was not having that. Plus, the coldest celebrity versus wrestler match still happened under the Vince McMahon regime. Because I'm sorry, no sir, it cannot be close. What match you got? What? Not yours. Because first of all, I've never seen the Big Show so babyface. And second, I don't think I've seen a crowd plot so hard on one man's downfall. They was ready for Big Show to crush him like a flea. So imagine their absolute disdain when he said, "Brass nuts, bitch." Well, I tell you, I was pissed. Awesome match, though. But now we just gotta take it a step further. Because now, not only do we go above and beyond to give them good matches, sometimes we're going to give them title reigns. And then you're going to release half a dozen superstars that deserve their spot because, well, we're not really getting over with the crowd. You're not giving them shit to do. You're too busy putting that stock in the celebrities. Oh, yeah, you already knew I was going to talk about it. Like, seriously, how are you supposed to find Damian Priest intimidating after this garbage? Oh, and funny side note, I'm pretty sure the reason we haven't seen Bad Bunny in a minute is because, well, it was said that he was taking egregious backshots at the Diddy party. Yeah, rumor has it he was in that bitch high-pop hit. Latinas, but that's just me. Anyway, the old Dominican Tasmanian devil-built ass random rapper. Yeah, you're really face thing is Vince would have never let that happen. Because Vince would put the celebrities over him. WWTKO is the opposite of that. They'd rather bend the knee to the celebrity. Like, brother, we were about 3 to 4 months away from Triple H popping up on Joe Rogan's podcast. We should. Like, bro, we can't make the wrestlers the stars. Y'all remember Miz and Maurice? You know the show, nobody was trying to see them. How about we try Montez and Bianca? No, wait, I can do you one even better.
Welcome, everyone, to the farm in Palo Alto, home to the Stanford Cardinal and to legends such as Elway, Luck, and McCaffrey, all of whom went through battles like the one we'll see in this one. Today, a clash between a couple of ACC rivals in a game that could have big-time implications for the rest of the season. As we'll see, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons taking on the 10th-ranked team in the land, the Stanford Cardinal. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. Stanford ready to kick it away to start this game. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. So Wake Forest's offense will get the first swing of the game. And there he is. To this team's fans, he is a heroic figure. He is the guy who can lead them to the promised land.
This guy has been in big games, in big moments, and he's delivered for his football team. It never seems like a situation is just too big for him. This obviously is a huge game. I cannot wait to see this guy come.
Looking to go up top on first down. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. So they'll try to make up some of that ground on second down from the 16. He's looking to throw. Flips it out in the flat. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. and not the optimum setup to try to salvage the opening drive with a 3rd and long.
Well, the defense has the opponent backed up in their own end, and they are pinning their ears back, getting after the quarterback. You see the athleticism and the speed they have up front as they're able to notch that sack.
He'll field it close to the 50. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. So Stanford's offense has its first opportunity of the day. As we take a look at our impact players for this one, what are you looking for, Jesse, for a guy to make an impact?
Well, these are simply put the leaders of this football team, and generally games go how these guys play. If they make plays, they've got a shot to win this one.
No doubt, they got to show up. These are the team leaders. These guys have to play well if they're going to win the football game.
The short hands, it's Spears. He's there to make the stop, but the damage has been done as they pick up the first down on the throw and catch. Stanford now has it in the red zone. Comes out throwing on first down. Looking to scramble. Pressure's there and he lets it go. He just wisely got rid of that one. The worst thing that can happen to you is to turn it over on first down in the red zone. After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Makes the grab. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a first down.
They just find ways to find the big fellas. Those big tight ends are huge targets for the quarterbacks. The throws are usually in between the numbers. That makes it pretty easy. Usually sure-handed guys like that just come across the field, make plays for him.
He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line. On 2nd and goal, they believe he's got a nose for the goal line. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. If you don't tip the scales at 3 bills, stay on the sidelines. Big boys in the goal line. Going right back to the well, and this time he finds water. Gets it into the end zone for the touchdown.
And I love it. I love the physicality of this.
It has been so long since I've seen
Tavon Austin pave the way.
Name someone with a better highlight.
No,
wait.
John Wall into the end zone.
Is that a joke? Have you seen his high school? I've seen his mixtape. It's not as good. So we're just gonna ignore Lamar Jackson's brutal thing. I'm just saying. You guys nuts. Greg Oden at Ohio State. The man was.
Coming out with it, it's first. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. The Wake Forest offense returns to the field. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
But last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable, that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
Big play to start this drive. Now they'll snap it from the 39. The RPO, fire complete to the left. They make the stop right there. Good pickup, but still short of the first down.
One of the things that makes this guy so dangerous is how good he is after the catch. If he's got any space around him, he's able to burst. He's able to make people miss and get extra yards for his offense. You saw it right there.
Just a solid stop by this sophomore.
Now, that's what you're trying to do as a defense. Limit those damages when they run the football. Get them on the ground, short gains to set your defense for positive situations down the road.
Getting some heat. And the pressure gets to him. Down goes the quarterback. And the Demon Deacons will punt it away on 4th down. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. Stanford has it back. The Cardinal offense returning to the field. Jesse, a very productive drive last time, wound up with a touchdown.
Yeah, mixing and matching play calling really well. Nice.
Just steamrolling his way through. And he gets into the 44-yard line. It'll be a first down.
And that is exactly why you stick to running the football. Haven't had a lot of success, but boom, you pop one, right? That's what you got to do. You cannot become one-dimensional and just throw the football every down. Love the offense sticking to the run. Nice job getting the first down.
Throws for the tight end. Complete to the right. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
Man, and we're seeing the tight end used more and more in the passing game. You see him moving inside. You see him moving outside. You see him moving in the box to block people. So here they put him in the slot, just have a nice little pitch and catch session.
Throws to the wideout. Finds a man on the left. Tackled, but he has a first down.
Well, this defense now is just getting gashed. And if you're the defensive coordinator, you might now want to think about being aggressive.
Throws toward the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Cardinal. He'll try to tack on one more. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And McCaffrey, a 19-yard toss for the touchdown.
I share a Spotify account with my son. And at the end of the year, I get that Spotify rap. I love it. Because I get to find out what an autistic teenager thinks is the hottest song. I say, yeah. It turns out my son's favorite song.
He'll bring it out. It's Curse. Wake Forest has it back, and here comes the offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Keep it on the ground. Navigates that mass of bodies and gets 4 out to the 17. Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. From the gun, wants to pass. Makes the grab down the middle. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one. The Demon Deacons will snap it on 1st and 10. They're going back to the ground. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. So first down didn't exactly go according to plan. Let's see what they can dial up on 2nd down.
Reese, I got him right where I want. Okay, I'm going to throw the football. Now I can get back in shotgun. Let's forget the running game stuff. We're going to play a little pitch and catch and see how good that secondary is.
Wants to throw on 2nd down. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the first half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they've built a lead.
And that ball's free behind the line. The D scoops it up, and everybody reverses field. Touchdown, Stanford! The defense with the scoop and score. The defense striking with a scoop and score touchdown.
And defense is about getting guys to the football. Sometimes you just get that hit, the ball pops out, more guys swarming to the football. Great effort, scoop that thing up, now do some damage with it. You always want to play offense anyways. Convert that defensive player, offensive player, give me that 6.
They're out there to kick it off. The return team must rivet
Never
that
even
ball
heard
to
of
the
someone
rib
stealing
cage.
from a
Can't
Colt
afford
factory.
another turnover.
They're setting you up. You mean to tell me that you clocked in for your shift and the manager handed you a bulletproof vest? They're f***ing with the cartel, auntie, and they're trying to get you to crash out. At your advanced age, they want you to be the crash dummy. The manager's been buying coats half off, illegally, from the cartel. He probably just ran off on them boys. The deal went bad. Now he got you playing lookout for $15.79. You should have never took that bulletproof vest, auntie. Look. They ain't even give you the right size, and you don't even have it on right, auntie. You're getting hit. How they gave you a bulletproof vest with no weapon? You don't see this as a setup? They gave you a whole bulletproof vest, but nothing to deter the bullets. Go home, auntie. Clock out and go home. You don't belong there. Let the manager do it, because I don't know any civilians who would rob a Burlington coat factory. This is a war zone. This Burlington is a war zone at this point. I'm telling you, auntie, go home.
Why Burlington got you wearing the vest again? Letting it, for protection for the store.
Protection for the store? Auntie, What do they have you protecting the store from? I know you love this dude.
They came out and jumped on them early in the first. Let's take a break and look at the first quarter stats. This could be a pivotal moment in this game as we open the second period and they try to find a way to answer. First down to start the drive after the break. Got his man quickly. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2.
Even with my feet right now, but like still quarterbacks are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too. But don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
It's 3rd down from their own 34 as they try to keep the drive moving. Looking to throw it again. Grab near the marker. It's Hawkins. He will step out of bounds, but not before
Here we go.
pick up and a first down for this offense.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm. And what better
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my fucking God.
Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his position.
Yo, hold on.
They'll throw it on first
Oh,
down.
fucked up.
Can't quite make the connection there.
Yo. Oh.
Nice job by the defense there, taking all throws away from the quarterback. He had nowhere to put that football in the field to play, so that ball obviously had to go out of bounds.
2nd down after that incompletion. Right out in motion.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
He's looking for a man on 2nd down. And the defense
Yo, hold on.
Hold
the fuck up. Hold on.
They'll try to move the chains on
Yo.
this 3rd and long from the 50.
Oh my God. Oh,
Here we go.
He needs a chunk play. He got a hand in there, knocks it away.
what are we going to do, huh? Tell me, we're going to take down the Patriots, just the 3 of us? Reigns is the only person that can stop Triple H from destroying the WWE at this point. The WWE seems to be in a very dark place to the point where fans are comparing this to Vince McMahon's final years, you know, as the owner of the WWE, which many people describe as brutal, boring, non-entertaining, you know, stale. R-Truth just got released a week after he had a match with John Cena at Saturday Night Main Event. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. Like, that by far was the most entertaining match at Saturday Night Main Event. R-Truth came out and he had this Ron Cena gimmick because we all know John Cena's R-Truth's idol. That's his favorite wrestler of all time. So R-Truth comes out with the Ron Cena outfit. He's basically dressed up as John Cena. You know, he comes out with the little rag, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I understand. They tried to tell us our glorious league to be taken over by foreigners. Yeah, right. A new savior has been bestowed upon us. All right, I'll tell you what. This plays ball the way this country's supposed to play ball, damn it. Just put your head down and go and beat the motherfucker at the cup. I'm tired of all this European nonsense, all this European hogwash, right? Spread the ball around, work on the fundamentals. No, go mount the motherfucker. I know what you're going to say, right? Oh, Giannis, he's got people. No, you can't. Not like this, right? He's not He's not saddled, motherfucker. Hey, it's too big. Ball, 3, screw the playing at your own pace nonsense, screw the footwork. This is USA basketball right here, okay? Go drive the cylinder with vengeance. Go make somebody feel it. Even rookie JT going out.
Those games late in the season are the ones that really determine what happens. But you got to set yourself up for success, and it starts right here in the first conference game in the ACC for your team.
Stanford offense is set up with another first down. One back in the backfield, he gets the carry. He is like a...
They tried telling us our glorious league to be taken over by foreigners. Yeah, right. A new savior has been bestowed. They tried telling us our glorious league to be taken over by foreigners. Yeah, right. A new savior has been bestowed upon us. All right, I'll tell you what. This plays ball the way this country's supposed to play ball, damn it. Just put your head down and go and beat the motherfucker at the cup. I'm tired of all this European nonsense, all this European hogwash, right? Spread the ball around, work on the fundamentals. No, go mount the motherfucker. I know what you're going to say, right? Oh, Giannis, he's got people. No, he can't. Not like this. All right, he's not mounted. He's not saddled a motherfucker. Hey, he's too big, too tall, Greek, screw the playing at your own pace nonsense, screw the footwork. This is USA basketball right here, okay? Go drive to the cylinder with a vengeance.
I'm from the streets, I'm black. Man, shut your bitch ass up, man. Get an ID, get your social security card, get your birth certificate, something where you can show 2 forms of identification.
One thing this team has shown early this year, it is not.
But don't be out here living that thug life. Don't be out here living that illegal. That's something we all could do. That's the easy way out. Listen to me. You oh shit, I knocked down everything. God damn, my knuckle hurt. Bitch ass hoe ass nigga. Get a fucking job while you do this shit. Okay? It'll be a lot better. Don't go all in. Because it's always on payout on the other side. The way, like, if you get a 9 to 5 and you want to rap, okay, well, you work and then you rap. Will you be able to put in the same amount of time as a guy who spends 100% in rapping? No, you can't. Guess what? This guy, he's probably going to lose everything, and you are hedging your bets. You are like, I'm going to work this job just in case. I'm from the streets, I'm black. Man, shut your bitch ass up, nigga.
They'll crank up this drive with
Get an ID, get yourself a
and the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line.
That is now the 7th sack on defense. This offense cannot protect their QB. It doesn't matter if the defense is blitzing or if they're just winning one-on-one. 7 sacks. That's just ridiculous.
This offensive line has just been unable to keep them away from the quarterback. Now it's 2nd and long. He's looking to throw. Pocket starts to collapse. And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again.
Man, there are defensive players out there that can just take games over, and that's what's happening with this guy right now. He is not cooperating with the offensive game plan. A sack on 2 consecutive plays, and now on 3rd down, you know he's pinning his ears back again.
Keeps it going. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. And the Demon Deacons will send out the punt unit. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Oh, misjudges it a bit and muffs it. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that.
Get the blonde one. I'll run ice over all 3 of them for you. Action time. I like your ass. Your ass tough. I like the fit though. I ain't gonna lie. Where y'all from? What y'all all the way in Dallas for? Happy birthday, girl. How old you turning? 24. You do not look a day over 18. Y'all are like the same age? Happy birthday though. What you doing for your birthday? Okay. You like it so far? What's your name again? Caitlin. Nice to meet you, Caitlin. My name is Praise. I like the fit though. You forgot the boot. I feel that. It'd be like, exactly. Hopefully you enjoy your birthday weekend. You got an Instagram rocket on? Okay, bet. Let me get that real quick. Caitlin, okay, bet. Enjoy your birthday. Very nice to meet you. Have a good one. Win is a win, bro. You win, I win. You get the blonde one. I'll run ice over all 3 of them for you. Action time. I like your ass. Your ass tough. I like the fit though. I ain't gonna lie. Where y'all from? You're all the way in Dallas for. Happy birthday, girl. How old you turning? 24. You do not look a day over 18. Y'all are like the same age? Happy birthday, though. What you doing for your birthday? Okay. You like it so far? What's your name again? Caitlin. Nice to meet you, Caitlin. My name is Praise. I like the fit, though. You forgot the boot. I feel that. It'd be like, exactly. Hopefully you enjoy your birthday weekend. You got an Instagram rocket on? Okay, bet. Let me get that real quick. Caitlin, okay, bet. Enjoy your birthday. Very nice to meet you. Have a good one. Win is a win, bro. You win, I win. You get the blonde one. I'll run ice over all 3 of them for you. Action time. What do we do tonight? We're not from. I like your ass. Your ass tough. I like the fit though. I ain't gonna lie. Where y'all from? What's y'all all the way in Dallas for? Happy birthday, girl. How old you turning? You do not look a day over 18. Y'all are like the same age? Happy birthday though. What you doing for your birthday? Okay. You like it so far? What's your name again? Nice to meet you, Caitlin. My name is Praise. I like the fit though. You forgot the boot. I feel that. It'd be like, exactly. Hopefully you enjoy your birthday weekend. You got an Instagram rocket on? Okay, bet. Let me get that real quick. Caitlin, okay, bet. Enjoy your birthday. Very nice to meet you. Have a good one. Win is a win, bro. You win, I win. You get the blonde one. I'll run ice over all 3 of them for you. Action time. What do we do tonight? We're not from. I like your ass. Your ass tough. I like the fit though. I ain't gonna lie. Where y'all from? You're all the way in Dallas for. Happy birthday, girl. How old you turning? 24. You do not look a day over 18. Happy birthday though. What you doing for your birthday?
Time now to join Kevin Connors and our halftime update.
So no one felt the need to tell me that every Major League baseball field has got a completely different shape and size. I don't mean like how Old Trafford is 5 yards big and great. So I mean that Major League Baseball teams are literally allowed to shape and size their fields to however they want. I realized this the other day when I was watching back the LA Dodgers and Arizona Diamondbacks game. So the GOAT Shohei Ohtani goes up to bat this ball, and as soon as he made contact, I thought this is definitely a home run. Then as the camera switches to the outfield, I see this massive green wall. And then the commentator says, well, Steve, this would have been a home run in 28 of the 30 Major League Baseball ballparks. And I was like, so they're cheating then. So as I love to do, I opened a new tab, put my research cap on, and then I quickly discovered that every MLB stadium is a completely different shape and size. And the only consistent part about Major League ballparks is the diamonds. This has to be regulated, but anything outside of that, do what you guys want. And there I was thinking that the fact that all of these ballparks were different shapes and sizes was incredible until I realized the reason why. So in case you didn't know, baseball is a very old sport that dates all the way back to the mid-19th century. When it came time for the first professional baseball teams to start building their stadiums, they had a slight issue. Because of industrialization, US cities at the time were packed and sprawling, and somehow these developers had to figure out a way to fit these stadiums into these really dense urban environments. And this is when the idea of the original baseball dual box stadium was formed. These were stadiums that had to fit within a US-sized street block with unassuming facades that almost resembled a park. Oh, like a ball. And because of urban restrictions at the time, stadium developers would literally just shape the stadium in a way that would fit amongst all the other buildings. So that's why a stadium like Fenway Park has got a much shorter left field, because it literally was cut off by Lansdowne Street. By the way, guys, TikTok tells me that only 11% of my viewers get to the 1 minute 30 point in my video. So if you are still here, I want you to comment down below Babe Ruth. Peace. You're thinking, oh, well, if the left field at Fenway Park is much shorter, then surely it's much easier to score home runs there. Because as well as being able to shape and design their fields however they want, these teams could also just put in obstacles like this one called the Green Monster. Now, the history books say that the Boston Red Sox built the Green Monster because they were worried that the fans that lived behind this wall would be able to watch the game for free. But let's be honest, the way teams will probably score this many home runs. Am I right, Red Sox? And although this is a literal obstacle, it is allowed because the MLB allows every team to have their own stadium rules. Like the fact, and listen to this, if you hit this ladder on the Green Monster, it's an automatic double, which is similar to the hedge at Wrigley Field, the home of Chicago Cubs. If you get a ball in this hedge, then it is automatically a double as well. I really don't know. So the savvy part of me thought, well, if a team is about to build a stadium and they can shape it however they want, surely they will design it in a way that will boost their team's chances of winning. And well, the New York Yankees were 102 years ahead of me because their right field is significantly shorter than a lot of MLB ballparks. And the reason why? Well, when Yankee Stadium was built, they had this really good player called Babe Ruth who was left-handed. And the Yankees knew that they had a rare breed in a lefty that could hit the ball out of the park, so they just made it easier for him. So I'm not trying to take away from Babe Ruth's legacy, but can someone comment down below and let me know, is there a slight tax on his greatness because of this rule? I could keep going about the strange stadium rules because at Tropicana Field, if you hit this,
it is as patently ridiculous an assessment of football as you will ever hear. Let me remind you of what happened. Cincinnati went 9-8 last year despite allowing 434 points. There were only 3 teams in the AFC that allowed more than that last year: Cleveland, Jacksonville, and Tennessee. 2 of them allowed 435, so that's only 1 more point. All those teams were terrible. The Browns and Titans combined to win 6 games, and they finished with the 1st and 2nd picks in the draft. Burrow had the Bengals in contention on the season's final day. Here are the big picture individual stats. Burrow had a QBR of 74.7. Very simply, that means his team was supposed to go 13-4. He led the league in passing yards. He threw 43 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, and he did that playing behind what was statistically the worst pass-blocking offensive line in the NFL. So there's the big numbers. Let's drill deeper. NFL teams that scored 33 or more points in a game last year, aside from the Bengals, went 79-7. The Bengals, when scoring at least 33 points, were 3-4. If that sounds impossible, it's because it previously was. They are the only team in NFL history to lose 4 games in which they scored 33. In the 8 games the Bengals lost, Burrow's losses, he threw 21 touchdowns and 3 picks. He became the 3rd quarterback in the more than 100-year history of the sport to throw 40 touchdowns and miss the playoffs. Dan Marino and Drew Brees each did it once. The point of the story is this: Joe Burrow taking responsibility for his team's shortcomings last year is great leadership, and it's probably the right thing for him to say. But the rest of us can easily see what happened. The Bengals wasted one of the great quarterbacking seasons ever. It should not be possible for a team to have been that bad around a quarterback that good. It is as patently ridiculous an assessment of football as you will ever hear. Let me remind you of what happened. Cincinnati went 9-8 last year despite allowing 434 points. There were only 3 teams in the AFC that allowed more than that last year: Cleveland, Jacksonville, and Tennessee. 2 of them allowed 435, so that's only 1 more point. All those teams were terrible. The Browns and Titans combined to win 6 games, and they finished with the 1st and 2nd picks in the draft. Had the Bengals in contention on the season's final day. Here are the big picture individual stats. Burrow had a QBR of 74.7. Very simply, that means his team was supposed to go 13-4. He led the league in passing yards. He threw 43 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. And he did that playing behind what was statistically the worst pass-blocking offensive line in the NFL.
Hey, Mother, stop calling me a rapper, don't be hell.
The only reason I don't be streaming is because pussy. I be out here chasing pussy. And don't get me wrong, it pays off, and it pays off very well. If it didn't, but no, I need to get me a bitch. I need to stay home. I need a bitch gonna take care of me and my hemorrhoids. That way I can come here and take care of y'all. This shit is one circle, bro. Hey, I got you, bro.
This is not leather.
I'm Lil Blick, baby. Why the fuck y'all niggas got weird ass names though? Like, I know who you are, Lil Blick, baby, but what the fuck you got that weird ass name right now?
Nobody saw this coming. Some of the league's most underrated. Nobody saw this coming. Some of the league's most underrated players are starting to play like MVPs. So let's talk about the most improved players of this season. Number 1 is obvious, Princess Emily. She's playing on an MVP level. Fans always knew the potential was there, but have you seen her progression and post-play this year? She's dominating matchups most players wouldn't survive. This is the breakout we've been waiting on. She reminds me of Anthony Edwards, her explosion and aggression and highlight reel plays. She can lead a team to a championship when she gets the right pieces around her. This thing is my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. She's still top 5 in MVP voting.
His quickness, and he's got a burst. If you give this guy just a crease, he's going to hit it, and right now, he's doing some damage on this defense.
On 2nd down, looking again to throw. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
Yeah, and he had an opportunity to make such a big play. Listen, he wasn't wide open with nobody around him, but you got to make that play. You got a little bit of space. You got to haul that in, make your quarterback look good, and make a big play for this offense.
They go to the ground. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the 1st down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Hoping to pick up the 1st. Here comes Stanford on 4th down. They want to throw it. Coming after him. And they stop the 4th down pass. The defense gets off the field.
Well, they're unable to come up with that one. I remember this as a player. You practice specific plays on 4th down for those types of situations, and you know all week against the scout team they've gotten really clean looks, easy to execute against. They didn't get a clean look that time, so you chalk it up to the defense. You take note of it next time. You might not run that play again if you're in a similar situation.
Didn't get much done on that 1st play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. The give to the back. Good pickup on the ground, and they'll mark him down at the 39. Wow, this offense is just stuck in the mud.
Came the most memeish video was how to get over a bitch. Guys, every single man on this planet gonna get his heart broken by some bitch. Holy crap. So not only did the Miami Marlins lose to the Colorado Rockies, they lost 2 straight to the Colorado Rockies, meaning they lost the series against them. I mean, look at this guy right here. He can't even believe what he's seeing right now. This is the worst thing to happen to Florida since Hurricane Milton. Every time I check up on the Miami Marlins, first of all, I remember they still exist. And the second thing I remember is, oh, yeah, this team is a fucking joke. If you end up losing a 3rd game in a row, getting swept by the Colorado Rockies,
and they are starting all the way as we come to the end of the third quarter.
I don't even know. I never thought we'd make it this far. Any team possibly getting swept by the Rockies. I don't even know. I don't. What do we do? I mean, I guess I'll just meme the shit out of you, but I'm already there because you've lost the series against them. I mean, hell, even losing one game is bad. Getting swept by the Colorado Rockies is like losing a race to a paralytic. Like, how did you manage to achieve that?
I've always been against firing coaches because they're not winning championships, because it's stupid. A championship is hard as hell to get. Why is that the standard? But it's clear that Tibbs doesn't care to adjust to the current era of what NBA basketball is today, because he has his mold, he sticks to it. It's like Chicago, have a ball-dominant guard that you run absolutely into the ground by giving him the ball the whole game. Have a center that doesn't really need it that much, Mitchell Robinson. Have a playmaking forward that is a great defender, which he didn't really have that this year because he doesn't really like that. Have a third position is where my problem lies, because Tibbs clearly got Mikal Bridges to fill that Luol Deng. 3-pointers, attack closeout, play great defense. But Mikal Bridges is so much more than that. One of the things that Mikal showed when he was on the net stand, you expand his role, he will expand with it. Meaning the player that you thought you had could be more if you allow him to be that. And to me, Tibbs is directly why Mikal Bridges had all these lukewarm offensive games this playoff run. It's because if you watch the film for the dude that we watched in the Nets, you would understand we learned something new about Mikal Bridges that we thought about him when he was on the Suns. He is a great shooter, yes, but he's not a standstill shooter. Meaning Mikal is one of the best movement shooters in the NBA, especially when you get him to the mid-range. He's 6'9" with an extremely high release. You get him in the mid-range, you just give him the ball and move out the way, he's going to get a lot of buckets. Even more than that, when you have him coming off the hit, just coming from the corner, going to the wing, catching the ball in movement, he's a way better shooter. People ask, why is the Knicks starting lineup not that good? It's because Mikal Bridges is a dude who legit can give you 20, very just standing on the wing and just waiting to get 3-point shots. And it's just not that good. Does that mean he's a bad player? No. He's not being used. That's why for Knicks fans, I advise you get a young coach. Johnny Bryant, for anybody who doesn't know, I'll talk about him for a little bit. Been an assistant coach for like a decade, but he also spent a ton of time with Quinn Snyder, who is also one of my favorite coaches. And if you took anything from Quinn Snyder, I hope you understand movement shooters are the most valuable assets on your team. Knicks need a young coach. They need a new mind in there. Personally, I think Johnny Bryant would be the best idea, because the Knicks have a whole piece on their team that they're not utilizing correctly anywhere possible, which is what led to them losing, if you ask me. I've always been against firing coaches because they're not winning championships, because it's stupid. A championship is hard as hell to get. Why is that the standard? But it's clear that Tibbs doesn't care to adjust to the current era of what NBA basketball is today, because he has his mold, he sticks to it. It's like Chicago, have a ball-dominant guard that you run absolutely into the ground by giving him the ball the whole game. Have a center that doesn't really need it that much, Mitchell Robinson. Have a playmaking forward that is a great defender, which he didn't really have that this year because he doesn't really like that. Have a third position is where my problem lies, because Tibbs clearly got Mikal Bridges to fill that Luol Deng. 3-pointers, attack closeout, play great defense. But Mikal Bridges is so much more than that. One of the things that Mikal showed when he was on the net stand, you expand his role, he will expand with it. Meaning the player that you thought you had could be more if you allow him to be that. But to me, Tibbs is directly why.
Had their way, they just keep their foot on the gas, keep putting up points, keep putting up touchdowns. And you know what? This is one of those stats days. You look back and you're like, that guy had 12 touchdowns on him. Well, 4 or 5 of them might have been in this game.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. From inside the 15, chance for a good return. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Wake Forest has it back, and here comes the offense.
Listen, remember, keep this
like 7 other niggas. But do you want to know what I did the last time? One of my shits cheated.
So I bought this electric. This is what we're calling high diff? Really? Nah. I must have forgot something. There's no way this is the high diff. After the clash, Hawk says, Crocodile replies with, I'm not in a good mood right now. You better watch out, Hawkeye. After a couple chapters, Crocodile is still looking east, and Mihawk is, where did Moria come from? Where's the fight at? This was the only time they made contact. This is high diff. You cannot make this up. You can't. But funnily enough, I didn't waste my time gathering these screenshots because I found this. My eyes just lashed onto it like the dude from Psych. Most powerful swordsman. Power. So all you skill guys, it's just skill. It's just sword skill. It's not power. It's over, bro. This is what we're calling high diff? Really? Nah, I must have forgotten.
I had P is wanted in 12 different sovereign states for tax fraud. Any truth to this? P? What? Are you wanted for tax fraud? She says no further comments. I had P is wanted in 12 different sovereign states for tax fraud.
You've seen people like lose confidence in their game, and you're like, yo, like what happened to him? Right. Like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is still the same Ben Simmons we watched dominate in Philly. You know the only difference between Ben Simmons in Philly and Ben Simmons now? It's confidence.
They'll line up right at the 48-yard line on 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. Trying to get to it. And the defense is all over the quarterback, and down he goes.
That's a good example there.
You've seen people like lose confidence in their game, and you're like, yo, like what happened to him? Like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is still the same Ben Simmons we watched dominate in Philly. You know the only difference between Ben Simmons in Philly and Ben Simmons now? It's confidence.
Can you get a little bit closer so they can... You know, boys, when it's all said and done and we go back and talk about the greatest three-point cellies of all time, to me, it's got to be Russ. And I don't think it's very close either. Not only is it effective, but the simplicity of it, right? We're just getting fired the fuck up, son. That's all we're doing. We're hitting a big-time three, and we're letting everybody know we just hit a big-time three. Look at this, right? Throw back to the bubble. Not only are we screaming at the young mothers on the sidelines, but also their children. Fuck is they talking about big-time high-five PJ Tuck. And I know Dame got the best of Russ during this series, but not during Game 3, son. Couldn't have told him shit. And how about all that orange in the stands, man? They really do things right down there in OKC. I think it should be a rule that the Thunder get to automatically be in the playoffs every year. The league needs it. These games are always electric, man. It's a true college atmosphere. Big time block from Sergi Block, and now here comes Russ. Peep this crowd pop.
Line gets set, first down.
You know, speaking of Sergi Baca, man, he used to really hold it down in the paint, huh? I miss when he was in a Thunder uniform. Damn, he just blocked Brown. That's a big time block. That Turtle, get that shit the fuck out of here, Turtle. That's weak. That's so weak. Nobody dunks on prime Sergi Baca. Nobody. And I mean nobody. You know, boys, when it's all said and done, we go back and talk about the greatest three-point cellies of all time. To me, it's got to be Russ. And I don't think it's very... You know, boys, when it's all said and done, we go back and talk about the greatest three-point cellies of all time. To me, it's got to be Russ. And I don't think it's very close either. Not only is it effective, but the simplicity of it, right? We're just getting fired the fuck up, son. That's all we're doing. We're hitting a big-time three, and we're letting everybody know we just hit a big-time three. Look at this, right? Throw back to the bubble. Not only are we screaming at the young mothers on the sidelines, but also their children. Fuck is they talking about big-time high-five PJ Tuck. And I know Dame got the best of Russ during this series, but not during Game 3, son. Couldn't have told him shit. And how about all that orange in the stands, man? They really do things right down there in OKC. I think it should be a rule that the Thunder get to automatically be in the playoffs every year. The league needs it. These games are always electric, man. It's a true college atmosphere. Big time block from Sergi Block, and now here comes Russ. Peep this crowd pop. Speaking of Sergi Baca, man, he used to really hold it down in the paint, huh? I miss when he was in a Thunder uniform. Damn, he just blocked Brown. That's a big time block. That Turtle, get that shit the fuck out of here, Turtle. That's weak. That's so weak. Nobody dunks on prime Sergi Baca. Nobody. And I mean nobody.
Part 2 of Triple H and TKO are trying so hard to erase Vince's creations, and I will show you how in this thread. So we're going to continue looking inside of Wrestling Tales. Alright, we left off on number 5, and it's basically saying that giving universally loved babyface John Cena one of the most underwhelming title reigns, and basically they're saying that they're booking his heel turn like utter garbage, and this is why Vince never turned him heel, because they don't boo him even though he berates them every single week he gets. And they're right. As I'm reading it, they're right. Cena never gets booed. They don't boo Cena. They actually boo Cody instead of Cena. I of course feel like that if Cena was a babyface during his 17-time title reign, we'll get better matches. But since his persona as a heel is to ruin wrestling, of course that's why you're not getting the bangers we once saw back in the day with Cena. So
Can't make the connection.
this one is basically saying that Vince saw talent in R-Truth that R-Truth would have never gotten released up under Vince. Not in a million years. This would never happen under Vince, not in a million years. And you guys are out here saying that Triple H wasn't the cause for this. He made the call. He made the call. I'll show you in a video later. He made the call. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. All right, again, this video's getting kind of long, but I'm going to push through it. Y'all just stay with me. It's saying right here, Drew McIntyre. Why is Drew McIntyre never winning feuds despite looking like a monster and sound like a stone cold killer and wrestling like one? 2 words for you, Triple H. Basically, they're saying that Triple H has made this top guy float around losing feuds and losing to Damian Priest. And I myself do like Damian Priest, but he just lost a feud with the Bloodline and lost a feud with Damian Priest and lost a feud with CM Punk. This was the top guy in 2020. This was the top guy in 2020.
And after this play,
he should never not be in a title match, ever. Ever. When it comes to big pay-per-views, this guy should have a title match or a big match. This guy is too good for... Y'all just stay with me. It's a long video, but just stay with me.
They're able to make the stop, but this offense running plays and racking up yards all the way to the end as they get the W. This is what an elite team does. They know they're better. They go out. They take the figurative sledgehammer and hit them right between the eyes.
And they just look good in every phase of the game. If I'm on the coaching staff, I don't know what you could ask for your guys to do better. I think the challenge now for this team is going out next week and trying to play with the same type of intensity and the same level of execution.
Well, Jesse, it's easy to look good on the field when you look that good in your unit. Like when you look that good coming off the bus. Those